from Southsea Bathing Out here, coming to you with another little weekly wellness tip. And this week's tip is, drumroll please, a prep the skin for spring kind of thing, an exfoliating body ritual that we can all be doing as we've got a little bit more time on our hands. Exfoliating in general is something that I think gets quite forgotten about. I mean, we shout about it quite a lot with facial skincare, but with body care it's more of like, oh, I just shower and I just moisturise at a push. But exfoliating is really, really important in that sort of self-care ritual that we can all be doing. There's lots of different ways of how to exfoliate. When should I exfoliate? All this sort of stuff. And it's quite confusing. So I thought I'd just come on here and just give you a little bit of a brief overview about what is exfoliating in a nutshell, when should I be doing it, how should I be doing it, and how is it going to benefit me? Those sort of things. So here we are. The product that I'm going to use to help me explain and sort of give you a little bit of demonstration is the Southsea scrub, which is a beautiful, beautiful product. You can see that I've literally like used nearly all of the product itself. I only have like a tiny little bit left because it's just so good and I need it in my life. But yeah, so I have the lavender and vanilla Southsea scrub. The lavender and vanilla is more of like a sensitive skin type, or more of a deeply relaxing treatment. I'm quite a sensitive little soul, so I need a little bit of sensitive skincare for all of my skin, so body not forgetting. And then we also do have a uplifting blend, which is our lemon and orange as well. So the lemon and orange itself is super energizing, super uplifting. So those essential oils themselves are very, very deeply cleansing. So each in their own right have amazing properties, but for me, lavender and vanilla is probably the one that suits me a little bit more. But yeah, just have like a little play, have an experiment, see what one suits you best. But if you need any info, just let us know. We can give you like a free consultation and chat you through what we think would be best for you. I know it's difficult in these times that you can't actually smell the product, but I can assure you it smells amazing. So yeah, so why should we be exfoliating? So our skin has a natural regeneration of cells, so it naturally does exfoliate itself. So if you imagine your skin surface here, and you've got constant production of new cells that's happening all the time. So cells coming to the surface, there's then it's called desquamation, so then they then start to shed themselves. Our clothes will dust them off. When we shower, they dust off. All sorts of different things that can make our skin sort of shed naturally. But sometimes things like pollutants in the air, aging, all those little skin factors may slow that process down, which can then lead to like a build-up of cells on the surface. So then that's when you'll get that dryness, the flakiness, that build-up of sort of grey area on the skin, and that's not obviously what we're looking for. We're looking for youthful, glowy skin. And that's where exfoliation comes into play, is where you can then be manually exfoliating those sort of grey areas off, so that those areas are then cleaned from the surface of the skin, and that those new skin cells that are coming from the bottom of the skin can then penetrate through to the skin surface and sit on the top as youthful, glowy cells. So then that will then reduce the appearance of like any stretch marks, scars, cellulite, all those sort of things, and also just help to improve the appearance of the skin itself. It also feels amazing as well. I mean, my hands are super dry at the moment, where we've all been washing our hands a little bit more than we are used to. So my skin is super dry, so I've been doing like a little hand ritual on myself, which I am going to be doing a video on, of how to give yourself a little hand ritual. But yeah, so exfoliating as a whole is amazing for the skin. It also aids in like product absorption, so whether you're keep popping a moisturiser and popping a moisturiser on but not feeling that it's actually working, it may be that you're just wasting that product, because what that product's doing is just sitting on the skin, and then it's just sitting on those dead skin cells that are then really sort of drawing all of that nutrients but not actually feeding those youthful cells at the bottom. So they're just sort of sat there stagnant, and those lovely youthful cells that are trying to penetrate up through are sort of hitting a barrier and they're not coming through to the skin surface, so they're they don't feel soft, they don't look glowy, all those sort of things. So not only is exfoliating going to be amazing for the skin, but you're going to get more use out of your products that you're going to be popping onto your skin afterwards as well. I mean, our lovely Salty Sea scrub, you don't need to put anything on afterwards because it leaves a lovely rich oily residue on the skin anyway. But say sort of like day 2 of post exfoliation, popping a moisturiser on then, or a body oil or anything that you'd prefer to, you're going to get more use out of that product because it's going to be used more efficiently. So that product is going to seep down into the skin tissues and start feeding those cells because there's no barrier there for it to sort of sit on top of. It's going to start to feed those lovely healthy cells that are being produced all the time underneath the skin surface, and hopefully give a more youthful, glowy, fresh, radiant look to the skin. So that's sort of exfoliating in a nutshell, why we should be doing it. And then it's sort of like how and when should I be doing it? And it totally is up to your sort of personal preference. So everybody's skin is regenerating at a different time. So my skin's quite dry and sensitive, so my skin regeneration is quite lackluster, and it needs a bit of a boost because it's not producing lots of new healthy cells that often. But someone with like more of an oily sort of normal skin type, that regeneration is happening quite often, but sometimes that regeneration can happen too much. And then you'll create like an excess oil production or something like that. So sometimes it can work for both people, but whereas like me, I only really want to sort of exfoliate my skin sort of once to twice a week. But someone with more of an oilier, active regeneration of the skin cells, maybe like a 2 to 3 times a week, but definitely no more than 3 times a week. But just experiment on how your skin feels, and how you feel that it needs that exfoliation process. I mean, there's lots of different ways that you can be exfoliating. For me, I think it's nice to sort of go back to basics. There's loads of different exfoliators on the market now, but I just love a manual exfoliator. For me, I feel like it's working more, and I feel like I'm giving myself a lovely treatment itself as well. I'm not just applying an enzyme exfoliator on my skin and just leaving it to work. I like to give myself that nurturing feel, that self-care ritual that I'm going to be doing for myself as well. So I like to use a manual exfoliator. So when I say manual exfoliator, I mean like an exfoliator, like a salt or an oil scrub that you're going to be scrubbing yourself onto your skin. You can also use like a body brush, just always in upward motions, to sort of buff off the top layer of dead skin cells, just to sort of ready the skin for the exfoliating product that's coming. So what I like to do is sort of before I'm getting in the shower, I will, just a little tip, go back to what I'm saying first, this lovely little product here, all of the oils sort of seep down to the bottom of the product when it's on your shelf. So what I like to do before I'm about to get in my shower or my bath is just turn it on its head, pop it on the lid, obviously making sure that the lid is closed, so that all those oils can start seeping down to the sort of top layer of the product that I'm going to be using, so that they're not setting at the bottom. I always do that just before I'm going to use my product, before I actually get in the shower or the bath. Just a little tip, my personal preference, but I mean, you could just, there's like a little spoon that comes with it, it's really cute. You could just like scrape it and give it a little mix before the oils, just to grab the oils from the top as well. So yeah, so I would do that, but going back to the body brush, I would put my little thing upside down, and then grab my body brush, and then working from my toes up to my legs, always in upward motions towards the heart. And the reason that we do that is that what we want to do is that blood flow that's flowing from the heart out to our limbs, we want to then push back to the heart so that it can then regenerate. And also as well, we have lots of lymph nodes all over our body, and they sort of sit in areas which are sort of close to the heart. So we're always wanting to push the lymph up to the lymph nodes where it can then drain, get rid of all the toxins, and then promote lovely new cells as well there. So that's why we're always working in upward motions. So I would then get my body brush, start working from my toes, up to my feet, up to my calves, up to my thighs, and then around sort of like my glutes, working on my sort of cellulite areas. And then from there, I would then go in with my product, in with my Salty Sea Scrub, and then apply a little bit to my hands, and then do the same motions upwards, 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 all the way up my leg. And I would do that dry, and then I would then do my other leg, do the whole motions again. So going in with your body brush, and then with your Salty Sea Scrub, and then working in that sort of motion. So body brush, Salty Sea Scrub, all over the body, where you feel like it needs exfoliating. For me, I just like to do the whole body, obviously excluding the face. Do not use this product on your face. But yeah, so all the way up to sort of like my décolleté and my shoulders. I try and do as much as my back as possible. So if you have a very kind husband or boyfriend or whatever, whoever it may be, so maybe help you do your back as well. That's a really lovely thing to do. But yes. So once I've done my body exfoliation, I will then jump in the shower and shower it off, or you can jump in the bath and let those Epsom salts really sink deeper into the skin tissues. So like I said before, with them being deeply restorative, deeply muscle relaxing, if once that heat starts to melt away that salt and sort of penetrate into that salt, you're almost going to get a lovely little bath oil as well. So that's a really lovely way to do it. But the way that I would use my product is definitely body brush first, dry, then apply the product dry, and then working in upwards motions, and then either shower off or bath off afterwards. But just bearing in mind that it can be a little bit slippy after as well, because you've got your grapeseed and coconut oil in there as well. So it's going to leave a lovely oily residue on the skin, so it's going to feel lovely and moisturised after. But that can leave the bath a little bit slippy, so just bear that in mind. Again, like I said before, totally experiment in how it feels like it suits with your lifestyle and your skin. Personally, that's just my ritual that I do for myself, but you might feel that you want to dampen your skin first, and that's totally fine. The product itself works beautifully on damp or dry skin. I would always body brush on dry skin first, and then dampen the skin and then apply your product. But just experiment and see what's best for you. There is no right or wrong, so you can't really go wrong. Whatever feels right for you, and whatever you enjoy, really. So yeah, for guys, exfoliating itself is amazing for like ingrown hair, guys and girls. But my husband suffers quite a lot with like ingrown hairs on his chest. I mean, I wax his chest. But he suffers with quite coarse hair, so I get him to exfoliate with the Salty Sea Scrub just to get, it helps just to aid those ingrown hairs and prevent them from happening. So what happens is that the hair itself starts to come from the hair follicle up to the skin, but sometimes there's like a build-up of dead skin cells, or something may be sort of not right in that area of skin, and that the hair itself starts to grow, but then it sort of hits a barrier, and then it curves back on itself, and then it will then create an ingrown hair, which can then be quite painful. But exfoliation just helps. So if you're buffing away that sort of layer of skin, it will then create a little opportunity for that hair follicle to come out through the surface and then sort of grow as a healthy hair. So exfoliating itself is a really amazing way to sort of banish ingrown hairs, help them, aid them on their journeys. But yeah, so guys and gals, exfoliate. But yeah, so not only does the beautiful coconut oil and grapeseed oil leave a beautiful, nourishing oil on the skin, but the fragrance from the natural essential oils themselves. I mean, we never use any artificial fragrances anyway, but the essential oils themselves, so personally for me, lavender and vanilla, it sort of seeps down to those skin tissues, and then you're going to get that lovely perfumed effect as well. So you're not going to need to go and quickly pop a moisturiser on because you're going to feel super dry, or oh, I need to pop some perfume on because I feel like I need it. You're not going to need that because the product itself is beautifully scented. And again, if you're more of a vanilla sort of a deeply relaxing kind of fragrance, or of an uplifting, you've got that choice as well. So the lemon and orange is a beautifully citrusy scent. So yeah, so you've got kind of two options. But yeah, so that's sort of like an overview on exfoliating, a quick little nutshell. I hope that's helped some people. I mean, I would do a kind of little description type video, but I feel like that would be a little bit weird in the shower. So maybe I won't do that, and I'll just do a couple of like pictures and stuff. And then also you can see on the blog as well, on the website, which is just www.southseabathingHut.co.uk. Just to mention as well, you do get free delivery on orders over £15. If you sign up to be on the mailing list and it's your first order, you get 10% off the whole thing. And we're also, like I said before, doing free skin consultations. I mean, I know it's difficult that all of our lovely products, they literally sell themselves because they smell so amazing. You can come into the shop and you can meet us and have a chat and all those lovely things that we get to do when we're in the shop. But unfortunately, that's sort of been taken away from us. So if we can try to get that sort of rapport and have those conversations still, just let us know, contact us, we'd be more than happy to help. And I wish we had smell-o-vision so you could smell all the products, but I can promise you that they smell amazing anyway. But yeah, I think that's everything. Yeah, so I'll see you next week. Bye.